welcome to your first video about creating all the beautiful graphs and panels and tables and such from all the telemetry data you receive from your controller. The first thing we are going to create is the RSSE and SNR panel. I'm going to use my phone to connect to my access point to test this out. It's hard to say. I have it here, 9105 AXW. So the good thing about this one, since so I don't have to go around with my phone to get more different data to see the data is changing. I can just take this access point, since I have it on a 10-meter cable, I can throw it behind me. On a bed, of course. I don't want to break it. So a little side note here: the dashboard we are creating is based on this dashboard by Jeremy Coho, I think. A lot of light in my face here from my screen. Sorry about that. You can actually just copy this dashboard to your own. It looks like this. So he has made a client RSSE and SNR, date rate, bytes, client info, and such. And we are going to create this, but I'm going to add a little bit more. We're going to create our own roaming panel. You can see how the clients are roaming. It's going to look a little bit different. And I'm going to do a little bit more tweaks to these three up here also, and also show you how it's made. But thank you to Jeremy who created this. It's really good, and it gets you started quickly learning Grafana. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to create a new dashboard. And then we're going to create a panel, and an empty panel, row, or a panel from the panel library. We don't have anything here yet, but I can show you what we can use this for later. I'm going to start by adding an empty panel. Now I'm going to hide my video here so we have more room for this here on the right. I'm going to choose our data source. We're going to select the client traffic stats. We can search here where the MS MAC address equals MAC address of my connected client. We don't have to point it to this specific client all the time. We can create a variable from all the MAC addresses to the controller. So you just have to point it to a variable. But I can show you that later in the course, but for now we're just going to point it to my phone. It's an Huawei phone, by the way. And then we're adding the fields. We want the RSSE, and then we want give it a name, SSE, and then we also want the SNR. Give that a name. And you see down here, you don't want all this. You want to use the alias. And how you do that, I think it was Dave Benham's blog who showed me this. You just add this. You get it like this. Much better. I'm going to take it from the last 30 minutes. And now you see we have receiving some data right now, but it doesn't look good. And yeah, we're gonna freshen it up a little bit to make it look a lot better. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, we can start by giving it a name, RSSE and SNR. We can give it a transparent background so it looks better. We want to have a legend down here. Want to have it as a table. I want to choose last value that's not 0. We want to have the minimum, maximum, and let's say we can take the average. We want these connected. We want all of this connected. So we want a line from this to this to this, so it doesn't get so much empty space between them. And then we go here, connect 0 values, never, always threshold. We press always. So now we get them connected. And then we can press this to see how we want it to look. I really like this one. And here we can change a little bit to the opacity, line width, etc. But we can also do some changes just to this and just to this. And then we are going to use something called a series override down here. Reason for that is we have different values. The RSSC is a negative value and the SNR is a non-negative value. And this RSSC is showed in dBm and SNR is showed in dB. So we can add a field override, field to a name. We choose the RSSC first. We can change the color from a threshold up here, or we can just give it a single color, let's say a blue. So if you used a threshold, for example, you can add here to so for example, you can make the line go redder if it's starting to get minus 90. I think we can do like this. So if it's minus 90, it's red. If it's minus 60, it's orange. And if it's minus 40, it's green. Well, I think that can work. Yeah, actually, you can use this, or you can just use a single color. We're gonna try this. I haven't tried this before on this panel. So now we have okay, yeah, great. And then we need a different override for the SNR. Yeah, first we need to say what is this? This is dBm. And what is this? This is dB. So now we have dBm on the left and dB on the right. But I also want the name on the table, so I have it on both sides. Then we can have, I think it was display name, I think so. No, just hold on a second. Let's see. What's the axis label? Like that, and we take here axis label. So now I have it on both sides. And then we want to create the line ticker just for one of them. Take the axis width. No, sorry, that was the axis width. I'm gonna have the line width. Make that SNR a little bit there. Yeah, so now you have created a nice panel for your RSSC and SNR. And you see those are almost on top of each other. So you can add, I think it's called a moving average. so it's not on yeah, so yeah, in short sense, it just moved 10 seconds or something. Yeah, but usually I just remove it. It's right on top of each other, but we can add a tooltip here to all. So when we holding it here, you can get the values. You can see here RSSE red -60. That's okay. We can add something else that says -70. That's orange. That's yellow. That's green. Well, so there we can there we see changes there. Yeah, so now we created an RSSE and SNR for just this client. But I'm going to show you in a different video how we can create a variable instead. So that is RSSE and SNR. You can do a lot of tweaks here. You don't have to look like this, but this yeah, it's a good representation of RSSE and SNR. So I can take my phone here is connected, and I can put it in my drawer, and I can close it. And then after a while, it should changed from 60 to 62. Let's see. And I can take my access point and put it on the floor, move it, move it a little bit around, and then suddenly it dropped from -62 to -67. Then I can take it up again. Sorry for that, I'm disappearing here. And have it right next to me. And just for fun, I take my phone and we have it like this, just for fun. And then we have like an insanely good connection. So you shouldn't do this, but just to show you. Next up, we're going to create data rate and spatial streams. See you in the next video.